Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now, if you've been keeping up with all of the videos I've been posting, you will know that last night I shared my recipe for a soft and a fluffy whole wheat sada roti. Now, of course, I couldn't leave you guys hanging. I had to make something to eat alongside it so you guys could try out for yourselves. So in today's video, I am making a Baigan and Eddo curry. Eddo is a type of tuber or root vegetable similar to potatoes, a little more waxy. And if you can find it, it adds such a velvety and lusciousness to the baigan that you will truly enjoy. And of course, I'm adding in some shrimp. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and make this fully vegetarian, I have a video on my channel that Grammy and I put together a while ago, and it's just plain Baigan and Eddo curry. But if you want to see how to make it with shrimp, feel free to keep on watching. And of course, I'm going to sop it up with my soft whole wheat sada roti. So I hope you all enjoy. So I'm going to get right into making the recipe. In a heavy bottom pot, I am going to go in with a little bit of oil and I'm going to add in my shrimp once it heats up. I'm not seasoning my shrimp beforehand. This is fresh shrimp that I got. I chopped them up, washed them really well, and I'm adding them into the hot oil. Basically what we want to do here is somewhat half cook the shrimp and allow any juices to come out of the shrimp, so this way there's no fishiness to our curry as it is cooking. So I'm going to stir this up and allow some of those juices to evaporate. So my shrimp cooked up really fast and did not release too much liquid. It's been only about 2 minutes of cooking. So I'm going to take them out now. As you guys can see, I'm only left with the oil in the pan. If you are left with a lot of liquid after about 2 minutes, you just want to drain off that liquid and throw it away and then set your shrimp aside so we can continue the cooking process. Now this is the way that I was taught to cook shrimp whenever adding it to any vegetables or curry dishes. The reason you want to cook it beforehand and then let it set aside is because you don't want them to overcook while cooking with everything in the pot. If you were to allow them to overcook, they would get very rubbery and not enjoyable. Now in the same pot where I had my shrimp cooking, I went in with just a little bit more oil so I could have more for my flavoring agents to fry up or saute, and I'm going in with some sliced onions as well as some chopped scallions. Now I have a little tip for you guys. Take those scallions that you get at the grocery store, wash them and chop them up really fine and stick them in your freezer in a Ziploc bag. This way whenever you're cooking, you could pull some out and add it right into the pot. It makes for such a quick fix in the kitchen when you need it, and you never have to run out to the store because you always have a batch in your freezer. While my onions and the scallions are sauteing just a little bit so they can get translucent, I have my bowl here with some other seasonings where I'm going to make my curry paste. So I have some chopped hot pepper and pimento peppers. The pimento peppers are optional. I have some of my green seasoning and I have some garlic. If you want to see how to make the green seasoning, I'll have the video linked right up here in the right hand corner as well, so you can put that together. Now into those seasonings, I am going in with my curry powder as well as some masala. Now some optional ingredients that you could add into here, you could go in with some ground cumin, but my masala has enough ground cumin in it already. This is the homemade masala I'm using. And you can also go in with some duck and goat curry powder if you wanted to use that. Or if you didn't want to use the regular mixed masala like we make at home, you could also use some amchar masala from the West Indian store. Once you've gotten all of those ingredients added into your bowl, you're going to go ahead and add in a little bit of water and mix it up really well until you get a thick paste. Now you want a nice paste so this way it'll cook really well inside the oil with the onions and the scallions. Now it's been about 2 minutes and my onions and scallions have softened up a bit and there are some beautiful golden brown bits at the bottom of the pot. So now I am going in with the curry paste that we just made. So when you add that curry paste in, you want to make sure heat is on a medium to medium high heat so it cooks out really well. And you're going to keep on stirring it and cooking it with the onions and the scallions until the oil releases back from the mixture. As you guys can see, once you add it in, the oil really soaks up into the mixture, but after that 5 to 6 minutes, it will come back out and become very oily and grainy again. And as always, when you're making any type of curry, it's a great idea to salt this mixture just a little bit, so this way you can begin to build up all of those flavors and you have a well-rounded dish in the end. So it's been about 6 minutes at this point, and as you guys can see, my mixture is sticking up really well at the bottom or catching, and it's a beautiful dark brown color and that oil has released back from the mixture. That's your indication that the curry mixture is cooked properly and it is no longer raw. So at this point, I'm going in with my cut baigan or my eggplant. Now, if you want to see how I cut the eggplant, peel it, and wash it to get some of those seeds out, check out the video where I prepare the eggplant and I share with you guys how to do that step by step. I'll have it linked right up here in the right hand corner. As usual, whenever I make any type of eggplant curry, I like to peel my eggplants just a little bit so it's not too dark. And of course, I like to squeeze it when I wash it so this way some of the seeds get out. And once you add that eggplant in, you can go ahead and saute it or bunje it with the spices. for a couple of minutes until the eggplant softens up just a little bit. What I'm going to do here is I might add a little bit of water just to loosen up the spices at the bottom, and I will cover the pot so it can cook down a little bit. So I didn't end up adding any water because my eggplant ended up releasing a lot of water, but if you find that it is too dry, you can go ahead and add just a few tablespoons to loosen everything up and allow that eggplant to cook down. I like to cook my eggplant down about halfway before adding in the eddo because I do not like chunks of eggplant in the Baigan and Eddo curry. I like for it to be very mushy and for there to be nice buttery pieces of eddos running throughout. But if you like it more chunky, then you can go ahead and add the eddo in at the same time that you add the baigan or the eggplant into the pot. So once the eggplant's cooked down to my liking with the curry mixture, I went in with my peeled, cut, and washed eddos. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some water to cover it about halfway. Now, you want to be careful when adding water because you can get a really watery curry if you add too much. So I'm going to cover it, stir it up, and I'm going to put my cover on and allow it to cook until those eddos are nice and soft. So it's been about 15 to 16 minutes for me ever since I added in that eddo, and as you guys can see, when I pushed it down with the spoon, it was nice and mushy, and my eggplants have cooked down really, really well. There's no big chunks anymore. So once you see those indications, you're going to go in with your shrimp that we par cooked. You're going to cover the pot again, and you're going to allow it to simmer on a low heat for about 5 to 6 minutes until that shrimp is fully cooked through. And at this point, the Baigan and Eddo curry is all done. Now, if you do not like it this thick, you can add a little bit more water just to loosen it up. Remember, as this cools, it will thicken up even more because the eddos are very starchy. And once you give your Baigan and Eddo curry a quick taste for salt and any other seasonings you may want to adjust, you can go ahead and serve it up. What I like to do is just top it with a few fresh scallions, or you can add in some more green seasoning at the end just to brighten up the flavors a bit and give it more of a fresh taste. But at this point, it is ready to serve with my sada roti. Now before I go, I just wanted to mention that you can eat this Baigan and Eddo curry with whatever you want. Today I'm eating it with sada roti, but it goes really well with oil roti or paratha roti. It also goes well with some quinoa on the side if you're going low carb. It also goes well with a plate of white rice as well. So whatever way you want to eat it, feel free to do so. Just know that if you try this recipe, it will be some of the most delicious Baigan and Eddo curry that you've ever had. So if you enjoyed this recipe today, please go ahead and give it a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed yet. And of course, leave your amazing comments down below and let me know what you guys would like to see next. I'll see you guys again very soon.